In April 1995, Debbie Tay, a model and aspiring actress, died from an apparent drug overdose. Ms. Tay had been a contestant on radio disc jockey Howard Stern's New Year's Eve pageant and had been a guest on his radio show. Respecting her wishes, her brother and sister, Jeff and Melissa Roach, had Debbie Tay's body cremated. Chauncey Hayden, a friend of Debbie's, made a request to the family.
She passed away in April of 1995, and since I was so close to her, her family just gave me a portion of her remains.
Howard Stern soon heard of Ms. Tay's death and had an on-air phone conversation with Chauncey Hayden.
And when Howard Stern had heard that Debbie had passed away, he called me and asked me if I'd be willing to go on his show with her remains and have a memorial service.
When Debbie Tay's brother Jeff learned of this plan, he immediately contacted Stern's producer, Gary Delabate, and requested his sister's remains not be brought on the show. He told them that to air a show of this nature would cause he and his sister great emotional distress. His request was declined. On July 18, 1995, Howard Stern proceeded with his memorial service for Debbie Tay.
Howard was so curious to see her remains. He couldn't believe that I had her ashes.
Minutes into the service, Stern began to shake and rattle the box holding Debbie Tay's remains and told Chauncey Hayden he wanted to see the ashes.
So anyway, he asked me if I would be willing to take the top off the box.
Though Hayden said he didn't want to do anything weird, the top was soon removed, exposing the bone fragments.
All right, let me see. I can't see it. Hey, wait, Debbie wants to say something.
Moments later, Stern began to handle Debbie Tay's remains.
And Howard, he picked her remains up, and he was totally outrageous. I mean, he held the remains to her picture and said, this is her rib, this is her. I mean, it was beyond what a normal person could believe someone would do.
Look at the size of this. That looks like a piece of her head.
Stern picked up bone fragments and quizzed show members on whether they were pieces of skull, rib, teeth, or other body parts. Even one of Stern's cast members, Ralph Cirilla, voiced disapproval, but the memorial service continued, and Robin Quivers also picked through the bones.
Come here, I'll glue her together. Give me that, Robin.
I'm shaking her bones.
Let me see that.
Soon after the show aired, a distraught Jeff and Melissa Roach took legal action.
A few months later, we were contacted by a member of her family's attorney. The family wanted to sue us, for Howard Stern, myself, and Infinity Broadcasting, for $8 million.
In court papers filed with the state of New York, Debbie Tay's brother and sister stated that Infinity Broadcasting, Howard Stern, and Chauncey Hayden intentionally disregarded their requests not to air the program, and by mishandling and disrespecting Debbie Tay's remains, knowingly caused them depression, severe mental anguish, and other emotional trauma. Though the plaintiff cited numerous cases, including Beller v. City of New York, which states, anyone who mishandles a dead person's remains without the consent of next of kin is liable for the mental suffering resulting from these actions. Brooklyn Supreme Court Judge Richard Hutner dismissed the case on December 16, 1996, stating that although Stern was, quote, vulgar and disrespectful, he did not exceed all bounds of decency. Howard Stern, Infinity Broadcasting, and Chauncey Hayden were free from any legal action. For Infinity Broadcasting and Howard Stern, the Debbie Tay incident was one of many controversies which continually surround the Howard Stern show. These on-air antics have made Stern millions of fans, millions of enemies, and millions of dollars, and have brought the issue of the First Amendment to the forefront of American debate.
It wouldn't be the Howard Stern show if Howard Stern didn't ask me to bring her remains on. That's Howard Stern. It's what makes him brilliant, what makes him real. It's what makes him honest. That's what makes him a rich man.
Howard Stern is radio's version of a 90s Lenny Bruce.
Stern is a successful joke.
I am very serious. I am dead serious.
Howard Stern is a pitiful, rancorous, attacking moron.
I have known people of the clergy who think Howard Stern is very funny.
Howard Stern acts like a jerk sometimes. That's how he makes money.
Howard Stern is a comedian.
He's not a comedian, God knows.
Howard Stern is absolutely a pioneer.
Howard Stern, that would be the Imus copycat.
He's a brilliant social satirist.
He's not a big, giant, talented guy out there. Howard Cotton Candy Stern.
He makes me laugh in the morning and gets me psyched up.
He's an idiot.
I believe his mother and father are ashamed of him.
The First Amendment was written for people who are obnoxious and despicable and disgusting.
People have to learn to tolerate the Larry Flints and Howard Sterns of the world.